Welcome to Hollywood Star Celebrity. Step back in time with us as we revisit the iconic cast of Big, 1988, and see where they are now in 2025. Then versus now, get ready for a star-studded journey through time. Tom Hanks, Josh. In 1988, a 32-year-old Tom Hanks brought childlike wonder to Josh, a boy trapped in a man's body, navigating the thrill and confusion of adulthood with wide-eyed innocence. His performance made us believe in magic, capturing both the joy and heartbreak of growing up too fast. Now, in 2025, at 68, Hanks remains a legendary force in Hollywood, his legacy cemented as one of cinema's most beloved and versatile actors, forever remembered for the role that made us all wish to be big. Robert Loggia, MacMillan. In Big, 1988, Robert Loggia, then 58 years old, played MacMillan, the warm and charismatic toy company owner who recognizes Josh's, Tom Hanks, genius for fun. With a childlike spirit beneath his business savvy, he shares an iconic piano dance scene that captures the film's heart. If he were alive today in 2025, he would be 95 years old. Jared Rushton, Billy. Jared Rushton was 14 when he played Billy, Josh's quick-witted and fiercely loyal best friend who never hesitates to call out the absurdity of their situation. With a sharp tongue and a big heart, he's the one who never stops believing in getting Josh back to normal, even when things get out of control. In 2025, he is 51 years old. John Hurd, Paul. At 42, John Hurd played Paul, the cocky and competitive executive who sees Josh as an annoying threat rather than a prodigy. With his sharp suits and even sharper attitude, he thrives on office politics but loses his cool when the kid in a man's body outshines him. Had he been alive in 2025, he would be 79 years old. David Moscow, young Josh. David Moscow was 13 when he brought young Josh to life, capturing the pure wonder and frustration of a kid who just wants to grow up, until he actually does. His wide-eyed innocence and excitement make the magical transformation all the more impactful as he learns that adulthood isn't as easy as it seems. Now, in 2025, he is 50 years old. John Lovitz, Scotty Lovitz. In Big, 1988, John Lovitz played Scotty Brennan, a smarmy coworker at the toy company who gives Josh, Tom Hanks, a hard time. Scotty is a fast-talking, slightly sleazy office guy who tries to take advantage of Josh's innocence, warning him about office politics while looking out for himself. Back in 1988, Lovitz was around 31 years old, bringing his signature comedic charm to the role. Now, in 2025, he's 67, with a long career in comedy and acting behind him. Mercedes Ruehl, Mrs. Baskin. Mercedes Ruehl portrayed Mrs. Baskin, Josh's loving but bewildered mother, who struggles to understand why her son has suddenly disappeared. Her performance is heartfelt, showing a mother's deep worry and desperation as she clings to hope, convinced something strange is going on. In 1988, Ruehl was 40, bringing raw emotion to the role of a parent facing an unthinkable situation. Now, in 2025, at 77, she remains a respected actress known for her powerful presence on screen and stage. Josh Clark, Mr. Baskin. Josh Clark played Mr. Baskin, Josh's father, though his role was minimal compared to Mrs. Baskin's emotional journey. As a typical working dad, he's mostly in the background, unaware of the supernatural events unfolding. His presence adds to the realism of the family dynamic, showing a household suddenly shaken by a child's disappearance. In 1988, Clark was 33, just beginning to build his career. Now, in 2025, at 69, he remains a seasoned actor with decades of experience in film and television. Erika Katz, Cynthia's friend. Erika Katz had a brief role as Cynthia's friend, one of the giggling girls at the sleepover where young Josh feels out of place. Though a minor part, it adds to the film's authenticity, capturing the social world of preteen girls. In 1988, she was around 13, already with a few acting credits to her name. Now, in 2025, at 50, she has long since moved on from Hollywood, building a career outside of acting while still being remembered for her early roles. Ballou. Derek. Ballou played Derek, Billy's other friend, who appears briefly in the schoolyard scenes. Though not a major character, he helps establish the everyday world Josh leaves behind when he suddenly grows up overnight. In 1988, Ballou was likely in his mid-teens, fitting right into the role of a typical kid in Josh's life. Now, in 2025, he's in his 50s, far removed from his early acting days, with most remembering him as part of a classic coming-of-age story. Gary Howard Klar, Ticket Taker. In Big, 1988, Gary Howard Klar played the gruff yet indifferent ticket taker, the man who dismisses young Josh Baskin when he tries to ride a carnival attraction, unknowingly setting the stage for Josh's fateful wish at the Zoltar machine. At the time of the film's release, Klar was 41 years old, towering at 6'3", with a commanding presence. If he were alive today in 2025, he would be 78 years old, but his brief role remains a memorable piece of Big's magical journey. Rocket's Redglare, Motel Clerk. Rocket's Redglare, with his rough-around-the-edges demeanor, brought a gritty authenticity to his role as the motel clerk, the unimpressed, world-weary guy who barely blinks when a kid in an oversized suit checks into a seedy motel. In 1988, he was 39 years old, his raspy voice and streetwise presence making the moment both amusing and oddly real. Had he lived to see 2025, he would be 76, but his brief screen time still lingers as a small yet memorable part of cinema's nostalgic charm. Elizabeth Perkins, Susan. Elizabeth Perkins delivered a nuanced performance as Susan, a sharp and sophisticated executive who finds herself unexpectedly charmed by a man with a childlike heart, only to later realize he's literally just that, a child. In 1988, she was 27 years old, effortlessly balancing humor, warmth, and bewilderment in a role that added depth to the story. Now, in 2025, she is 64, with a career spanning decades. Yet Susan remains one of her most iconic and beloved characters, capturing the magic of innocence colliding with adulthood. Thanks for watching Hollywood Star Celebrity. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Then and Now Hollywood transformations. See you in the next star-studded episode. Hollywood Then and Now.